Hey there, it's Melissa Vining here, and I'm really excited to be up on the Cocoa Vanilla Studio YouTube channel today, and also my own channel with my first layout for the design team. And you'll see before you that it is not the Legendary collection, it is the Happiness collection. And the reason why I'm not working with Legendary is because the post has slowed dramatically because of COVID-19. And yeah, my package will be somewhere between Australia and New Zealand, hopefully in New Zealand. I know it will be making its way to me. I'm just going to have to be patient, and in the meantime play with all the other collections that I have. And yeah, I'm really excited to be with you today. And before I get into the making of the layout, I guess I wanted to introduce myself. I'm from Queenstown, New Zealand, and I have 4 kids and a husband and 2 cats, and we're currently in alert level 4 lockdown. It is a state of emergency in our country as of 11:59 on Tuesday night. So the police are and our government are being very, very strict on us staying at home, only going out for solitude exercise or to essential services like a supermarket or a chemist. We can't even get in our car and go for a drive. So yeah, this is day 1, and obviously this is going to go live tomorrow, which will be day 2. And the reason it's taken me so long to, I guess, make my videos because, first of all, I did all this chain stitching on this. This is a kit that you get, or a speciality piece of paper that has the heart and the pieces are already printed. So you just overlay the 2 onto the background paper, and I've chain stitched, which takes a very long time for me. But the other reason is because we have had to sort our lives out in 48 hours until lockdown. We had to sort out what we needed, sort out our children, and we've had homeschool operating for the last couple of days, and I still have work. I already work from home and I'm quite busy with work. So it's been a balance, but one thing I will say is making time for being creative is helping me get through. And I'd really encourage you to document this COVID-19 event, or pandemic I should say, because it's the first that we have ever seen, well, in my life anyway, it's the first of this kind of thing that's ever happened, and hopefully it won't happen again. And I think in the future people will love to look back on your memory keeping and see how you documented it. Anyway, on with the layout. I am going to be scrapping this photo of Ava. She's our 3-year-old and our youngest, and because this is a very bold collection and I went super bold, which is unusual for me with the black stitching, I needed something like, I needed a photo that was bold and not too soft. So I went with this one with an Instagram filter with butterflies, and I just love the way she's turning in, looking kind of over my shoulder. But I've placed it on the right because if you follow my scrapbooking, you know I like to place things on the right, but also because I want her eyes to be looking into the center of the page. So yeah, I'm going to put you on to fast forward now. I'll show you the bits and pieces that I'm working with, and I'm going to get this layout made. Okay, so the first thing I did was remembered that I was meant to show you all the products that I'm working with. So as you can see, a lot of scraps, a lot of product is used up, but I always love the challenge of making something from what I've got left. And sometimes I even find it easier than the first layout I make with the collection, because it's really hard to decide what to do when all the things are in front of you. So I am just cutting some photo mats and distressing them, and then I was going to put them on evenly or lined up evenly, but I'm kind of trying to embrace my old style of scrapbooking with layering at the moment, where my layers are uneven. So I kind of scrunched that bottom layer as well to give a bit more texture. I was going to use that doily, but it was too small, and I think it was too soft and pretty for excuse me, for this quite bold layout. So I've pulled in some vellum from my stash, and I'm just using some craft foam to lift my photo up. And this is especially needed because that chain stitching is quite dimensional. And the chain stitching did take a long time, but I just watched some Netflix or some YouTube and did it for probably a couple of hours each evening. So I did try again with the doily, but yeah, it was just too delicate. And then I thought I need to add something behind my photo, so I've used a sticker from the sticker sheet, and you can see I've depleted a lot of the stickers. I still have a lot of the words and phrases left, and I know that I'll get to them. So yeah, I was going to say, excuse me, sorry about my voice, I'm getting a cold. I believe it's just a cold because it's that kind of cold season anyway, and I, for sure, as far as I know, have not been around anyone with coronavirus, because as an asthmatic, I'm high risk and I have been staying at home anyway, or avoiding large gatherings. So there I'm adding one of those translucent stickers, and I love that they look like mixed media and they make it easy. And I've just cut it in half so I can get more use out of it, so I'm not wasting it tucked behind my photo. I don't have many ephemera pieces left, so I'm trying to be creative here with what I have got. And I love it when florals come in a sort of a cluster like that one. And then I'm just playing around trying to work out what orientation I want these flowers to be. There's a few hearts left as well, so I've just stapled a blue one on, and I like it that it goes with her dress. And yeah, drinking my coffee because it's needed today. I'm still working as well. My business is really busy, and so while there's work, I've got to keep doing it. And so here I'm going through these beautiful words, perfect for a title, and just deciding what I'm going to call this. And Beautiful You or Lovely You is a kind of a title that I would always gravitate towards, because with 3 girls, and I've got a son as well, but with 3 girls, that's very, very tempting to use. But then I saw the word unique, and I thought Ava is a really unique child in a good way, because she's different to her brother and her sisters. She's more full on. She does things that the others never do or never did. She is like a monkey. She climbs up the pantry. She goes around the bunk beds like it's an acrobatic piece of apparatus. She's more full on than the others, and she's really funny as well. So I thought Stay Unique was actually a really, really perfect title for my layout. And I love it that Cocoa Vanilla has these words, because it makes it easy to think of a title. We don't really have to think. It's just like using the words and working out what is going to suit your photo or the story that you're trying to tell. So what I'm doing here is I'm wanting to pop up these words on some dimensional adhesive, and I want to make sure that the dimensional adhesive goes on the paper, not where the stitching is. It's hard to explain, but I think I said it earlier that the chain stitch does give quite a lot of dimension, and a lot more dimension than if you just did a normal back stitch. So I'm wanting to commit to these florals, and I didn't quite like the position of just having them above and below the photo, so I had already stuck the sticker one down, so I was definitely committed with that. But I thought for a little bit of difference and a bit of interest, I would put them on each corner, so they're going on the diagonal from right to left. Just trying to work out which flower I want there. If that other flower had a leaf on it, I would have gone with it, because I like the extra interest that the leaves add, and it sort of matches the bottom cluster, but it didn't, so I just went with the pink one. I did think about putting the other flower where it is in that position next to the word stay, but it won't stay there. Sorry about that. I just had to stop and cough, and I want to do that down, well, I didn't want to cough in this voiceover. So just adding a few more dimensional adhesive dots behind those florals just to lift them up, and that's definitely a technique that I love to do on my pages. And then I'm just looking at what I've got left, wondering if any more of these clear stickers can work, but they're not going to. I think there's enough going on with this layout as it is, and because my main cluster of embellishment is around the photo, I will add some more soon, but I don't add anything else that is sort of hanging off the heart. So here I am fussy cutting out these butterflies. These bigger ones are from the 12 by 12 sheet, and the smaller ones that you'll see soon are from the 6 by 8 paper stack. And I love that if you fussy cut the same pattern or feature on the 2 different sizes of paper, you end up with a scaled down version and 2 sizes of, in this case, butterflies. So that same trick would work with florals as well, and that provides a bit more interest and movement on your layout. So I always knew that I wanted to use butterflies because she's got butterflies on that filter. And as a side note, try that filter on yourself as an adult, because I tell you now, it adds Botox and blemish removal and big lips. It's really quite fun and weird to see yourself with the filter. But for the kids, it doesn't seem to do that. So yeah, have a play. So here I'm just working out where I want my butterflies, and I was never intending to have them fly over the entire heart, but I don't know, I just started positioning them, and I wanted to keep each of the colours away from each other, and I was also sort of mindful of the pattern paper underneath where I placed each one. So I think I put a pop dot on the first pink butterfly, but then I used the dimension of the stitching to lift up either one or both wings, and where the stitching lifts up the dimension of both wings, I only have to put glue in the centre of the butterfly, and if it's only lifting up the dimension of one wing, then I've put the glue onto the other side of the butterfly. I hope you understand what I mean. If you, yeah, you'll see what I'm doing as I glue these all down. So I'm actually I'm really happy that I decided to have them fly all over the heart. I maybe would have had some come off the butterfly, but I didn't have enough. I know you can see butterflies to the left of my layout, but those ones, I think I trimmed that paper with a trimmer, and I cut off, I think, the edge of the butterfly's wings. So because I'm not tucking them anywhere, they feature on their own, I want them to be entire. So for my journaling, it made sense for me to place it here. I did think about writing around the heart, but I think I just want to keep the defined stitching around the outside of the heart as the boundary of the heart. And so I'm just handwriting. I journal on all my layouts. It tells the story behind the photo. And it's also, in this instance, I'm telling an additional story about how Ava has become our butterfly spotter in our garden. She's always telling me there's butterflies, and we've had a lot of white butterflies, and she just loves to point them out. And we've even driven along in the car, and she's pointed out butterflies out the window. So even though the photo isn't anything to do with her doing that, because there's butterflies on her face and butterflies on the layout, I use the opportunity to tell that story, as well as explaining that that's an Instagram filter, because I think one day when I look back at my albums, or if someone else looks back at them, they'll wonder, wow, I wonder what app, or I don't know what the future will be like, but it's good to know for me that I've recorded that I've used Instagram for that photo. So I've just stamped the date there with a really old, I think, Amy Tangerine date stamp. And then my final touch, aside from ink splatters, which I do off camera, is to add 3 areas of 3 of these Nuvo Dream Drops, and the colour is Gold Luxe. And that's my layout. So thank you so much for watching. I've got some close-ups coming up. I really hope you enjoyed this process, and I'm really excited to be back next month with some more layouts. Thanks for watching. Take care.